I'm really excited about this game because it's called Pink Noise. I got the pink headphones. I got the pink sweatshirt. I got the pink cell phone. I got the pink headphones. I got the pink.
Who's saying that?
Sweatshirt. I got the. Oh my god! That bitch ruined my riff. That bitch ruined my day. I've got the pink headphones. I've got the pink sweatshirt. I've got the pink cell phone. I've got the pink microphone. What else have I? I got the pink keyboard. I've got the pink. I have more pink stuff. I just can't reach it. We're playing Pink Noise! It's a scary game that's pink. Which is awesome, because I love the color pink. I'm about to start paying to not get ads on your streams. Yeah, do it. No balls, you won't. Okay, you missed my... Did you miss my fun jingle? Did you miss my fun song about pink? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Take your time. Okay, I'll do it again. I got the pink headphones. I got the pink sweatshirt. I got the pink cell phone. I got the pink keyboard. I got the pink microphone. Microphone. There. Dude, was that good? And now we're playing Pink Noise. It's a horror game that's pink, which is my favorite color. Did you like that? I'm assuming he left. Okay. Wait, oh, do you have the pink pony? I am in the club. I'm always in the club. Pink Pony Club, state of mind. I like that sound. I like that sound. Oh, yeah. Hey, is the sound too quiet? Am I too quiet? Am I too loud? Is the sound too loud? Just let me know what's too quiet and too loud, and I will adjust accordingly. Let's play a new game. Act 1. Along shady alleys. Oh. Oh my god. The fucking Alex Earl Touch Myself ad has been playing this entire time. You guys have probably been able to hear that in the background. Not sponsored! I don't even know who Alex Earl is. Fall comes to Riverwood with chilling winds at first drizzle. A bleak mist obscures the narrow streets, clinging to rooftops, tangling in the bushes, and swirling about the fields. Okay, this game might be called Pink Noise, but all I'm seeing is purple prose. Along shitty alleys. Shitting in the alley. Yeah, you can't scare me. I've been to Memphis. Fog and murky blackness suit the peculiar suburb. Nestled amid the forest and mountains, it's a decaying, quiet place waiting for winter. Purple prose, all I hear is purple prose. As the event wears on, the town is wrapped in thickening twilight, with only a few streetlights serving as solitary islands of illumination in an ocean of darkness. Oh, brother! On one such evening, ordinary and cold, 4 teenagers are strolling around on an old park, engrossed in a lively discussion. The first fallen leaves rustle underfoot. As the wind reaches the trees, their branches groan out a long, plaintive creak, as if lamenting the loss of their motley attire. Motley attire! Two of the teenagers, a tall boy and fair-haired girl. Me? No. I'm not a teenager. Their friend carefully from one paved slab to the next, balancing through the bottomless chasm, might yawn open beneath. Oh my god! A quiet, stooping boy in the glass. I'm hoping that this gets less dramatic. Just a half-century before, a tiny school stood there. Now, only a barely discernible foundation of heaps of broken bricks, choked by stubborn vines, remain to remind them of the erstwhile existence? Who wrote this? William Hemingway? Is that his name? William Hemingway? That can't be right. Can it? Ernest Hemingway. Yeah, Ernest Hemingway. Year by year, students have taken that path, carrying with them their thoughts and fears, high hopes and grand dreams, through exams and first crushes to bullies' bonks on the head, or simply yearnings to be the star player of the local team. Be it aglow in autumn gold, cloaked in verdant summer green, or blackened beneath snowdrifts, Riverwood will never forget them, just as they'll never forget their town and secrets. I keep thinking I see a chat, and then I look up and there's no chat, so you guys get on that. Okay. The older a place grows, the more mysterious it keeps secrets locked away. One of the girls leaps into the distorted blur cast of light of the street lamp. Ah.
Ain't gonna catch me.
Eva whispers of shadowy webs of Eva wipes shadowy webs off her cardigan. Gossamer threads only she can perceive. She glances at the overgrown bushes, which have long since forgotten the tender care of gardening shears. So you want me to chat more? Yeah! Yeah, I want you to chat more. Chat more.
No chow time tonight, besties.
The other girl scoffs at her friend's silly gestures.
If Brian was as agile as you, we wouldn't have been stuck in school after dark. The chemistry room's never been so tidy.
Oh. Chat, 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 chat. Chat, 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 la, 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 da, chat, 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 la, 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 da, 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 chat, da, la, da, chat, da, la, da, 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 da. I'm out of breath. She wriggles her fingers to demonstrate her palms red and wrinkled from hot water.
It's not my fault Mrs. Hopstone didn't save enough teeth to avoid spitting and lisping. Besides, she should have explained it better. The bottle must have been left open.
Actually, she explained just fine. But you still put 3 chlorine tablets in the rubbing alcohol instead of 1. Surprise, surprise, the reaction was extreme.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that bang was something else. My left ear's still ringing.
Eve stops, hearing a faint halo of light, and nods. She's never been reprimanded at school before today. Sure, she would have been way more upset if it hadn't been Brian's fault, but still. It's just another adventure, something for her and her friends to laugh about one day, and a happy memory is worth more than any reprimand, especially when her parents will probably forget it by tomorrow. YouTube chat starts here. Awesome! Yeah! Yeah! Let's go!
Alright.
He raises his hands apologetically.
Next time we team up, I won't let you down. I'll put in 2 chlorine tablets.
Yeah, okay. The group passes a row of houses as dissimilar to one another as possible in a suburb. The time-worn houses' windows glow faintly in sepia tones, although light itself has aged, as though the light itself has aged and can no longer disperse the deepening darkness. The buildings they pass seem to be contending for the greatest neglect. Every other resident would be considered an eccentric in any other town. For instance, Greybone has leaned on the rusty mower on his front stoop instead of a cane for 2 decades. Okay. The abandoned duplex across the road still bears the scars of a long-forgotten fire. Its windows are boarded up, and even during the day it has a miserable look. The teens keep their
Oh,
distance.
Miss Hurwitz's house.
I like all those little stuffed cats. The gloomy old lady had knitted yet another pear-shaped and proudly displayed cat on its terrace, thus expanding her ugly army.
Right, you had a cup of tea together. Did baby Tony apologize?
Baby Tony. Once, Ava's brother had filched one of the cats and taken it home. Neither of their parents had called any attention to it, so she had to explain for herself that taking other people's belongings without permission was wrong.
No, I was the one to apologize. Miss Hurwitz didn't say a word. She only gave us a cold stare and sniffed loudly. She scared poor Tony so much that he couldn't fall asleep for half a night.
Well, he shouldn't have stole a freaking cat. What kind of...
You have such a giving heart when it comes to your brother. You might be raising a hell of a night. Why in the world would he want to snatch a cat, though?
He was just a little kid. He came, he saw, he took it home.
That one does look pretty cute. I would take him. There's no need to tell the friend that Tony had intended to give Eva the cat. He knew she wanted a pet more than anything in the world. He thought he could cheer her up with a toy one. Oh, that's cute. He'd never taken anything that didn't belong to him before, not out of fear of getting caught or being punished. He simply found stealing shameful. Tony would sooner give away his breakfast than steal something from someone weaker than him. No doubt that kind of attitude would make school harder for him, but such is his nature. Contemplating her brother's heart of gold, Eva smiled softly. I like that one. He's cute. That one's real, I think. No, it's fake. They pass by Miss Harvit's terrace, curiously eyeing the odd dolls. Twilight makes the cat's silhouette look eerie. Their pearl button eyes glimmer in the fading light as if they know secrets that have been buried
If
too
I go
long.
crazy one day, I'm gonna definitely buy a nice crib close to the park. The neighbors here match me perfectly.
Yeah, I can't stand this street. It's like it's lost in time and space. Probably
Yeah,
has to
time
swim.
and space. No one protests, so she leads them onward, sweeping into the nearest alley. A gust of wind bursts through the narrow walkway, permeating the air with the stench of raw wooden planks and rotting garbage. The houses in the alley look like they've been copied and pasted. They were likely built the same time as the house factory work. I don't know, I butchered that. The only thing that differs in this light is the windows, on or off, making it clear whose shift it is tonight. 2 Christmases before, I'm yawning. No! Okay, sorry. 2 Christmases before, Brian got beaten up here. Some high school students apparently didn't appreciate his sharp tongue. They'd shoved him into a snowbank and packed the snow in his sweater. But the most humiliating part was the neighbor kicking them all out. She came into the doorstep with one of Brian's classmates, a cute but overly chatty girl. That's me. By the very next day, the whole school had heard the story about him shaking snow out of his pants and whimpering like a puppy. He would have preferred being rolled into a giant snowman and left there till spring. Brian adjusts the backpack full of baseball equipment, which has crawled down his shoulder, and walks up to
I'm
Ashley.
so fed up with this stupid school. All these teachers,
Oh, a couple.
homework, tests.
But the year just started.
That only makes me want to study even less. There's nothing worse than coming back to school after summer.
He jumps over a puddle and takes Ashley's hand.
It's like wearing old trainers you've already grown out of. Can't wait for college. When I start working, I'll buy real catcher's gear. Or at least a better glove.
Okay, jawline. Okay, jawline. Let's go. His palm still hurt from Friday's practice session. The equipment donated to their team left much to be
Better buy a
desired.
slugger straight away. It'll pay off much sooner. Best case scenario, you can be a bouncer at a bar.
She seems kind of mean, low-key. Brian doesn't get the complexity of the world at all.
Dad says a good job like his is hard to find without higher education.
Yep, she sounds kind of like a bitch to me. Ashley grabs her Leo Zodiac pendant. Were people wearing Zodiac pendants in the 90s? I don't feel like that was true. I feel like that was witchcraft or something back then. I feel like that didn't come onto the scene till the late 90s, not the 80s. Something she does whenever she says something. Oh, Ashley, she's a Leo? Wait, a blonde Leo? Is she me? Literally? No, she's way too skinny and her jaw is way too sharp. Bitch.
College is just another place to study.
This world's too cruel. Illness, starvation, school.
That's real.
I like school though.
Yeah, you would, nerd. Michael tries to squeeze into the conversation. All along, he's been trailing behind the others, glancing suspiciously at the parked pickups as if they might fight. He hasn't kept up with his friends since he noticed 2 silhouettes in an old Ford. 1 female, 1 male. Where are they at? Jesus Christ! Oh my god! The mutilated faces stare back at him. He could have sworn he heard hoarse, gurgling whispers. Their garbled words sank into his skin like windshield fragments, making his chest constrict like his ribs were breaking. Every breath pained him like his lungs were pooling with blood. The purple prose is getting better, by the way. It started out really, really heavy for no reason. The light had flashed over one of the doorsteps, dispersing into the blackness. Suddenly, both seats were empty again, and the strange vision turned into nothing but the local flour mill uniform hanging from a grab handle. Michael wipes the sweat off his forehead and listens carefully to his friends.
Of course. I'd love school too if I had your scores, Mikey.
Mikey!
Exactly.
Agreeing, Brian quickly squeezes Ashley's hand.
Maybe I should wear glasses too. Sounds like homework doesn't look so boring through them.
I mean... They walk by the Murdoch's front garden onto a street flooded with pink and blue neon signs.
You'd better stop complaining. We only have 3 years of school left. Just imagine. Life's gonna be completely different afterward.
We only have 3 years of
We might
school
even
left. They're
lose
freshmen?
touch.
You guys are acting like college is tomorrow. To Eva, the idea of moving away feels like teleporting to an unfamiliar planet. So many new people, places, and interesting stories. She hasn't even fully explored Riverwood yet. In her mind, the town's old houses and old residents still harbor so many secrets, enigmatic and dark. In comparison, some unknown huge city feels like a bottomless well, impossible to fully drain even if you had 100 years.
If friendship's real, distance means nothing. My dad calls his friends from other states every single day.
Period. And and that's on friendship. She's tempted to add that they mainly have only business conversations and argue often, but they don't need to know that. Well, fair enough. In her mind, her parents are role models everyone should strive to imitate, not just her and her brother. There isn't a single family in the entire town happier or more close-knit than Ashley's, and that's nothing but the truth.
Well, a couple of cornfields and state borders ain't enough to break you up.
What the hell do Ashley's dad, your love, and cornfields have in common? Look around.
Ava stops and points toward the houses swaying in the darkness.
Is there anything really happening up here? Crunk Jim driving his tractor into a ravine was practically the only breaking news here in 6 months.
Crunk Jim?
Well, adulthood is a real challenge. People grow up, then they start to feel sorry that time flew by so fast, and they want to experience school life again.
She pauses, searching for the right words. Quoting someone else is one thing, but she will soon regret these will she soon regret these bygone days herself? After all, Eva already recalls her childhood with nostalgic warmth. Back then, every little thing felt like it was brimming with wonder. Now a doll is no longer a sorceress princess or a traveler from a faraway world. A toy soldier is just a piece of plastic, and a blanket no longer serves as a battlefield for alien creatures. Making stories up for others is simple, but how are you supposed to fix yourself? Maybe the older you get, the duller and more colorless the world becomes.
It's like going back to a fairy tale you weren't grateful enough for earlier.
They're just nice words, nothing more. Bring adults back to the textbooks, and they'll howl all day. I don't remember any fairy tales where the characters were forced to read Walt Whitman's poetry. What about you, Michael?
Why is that purple? Oh, a legendary 19th century American poet who celebrated freedom, nature, and the lives of ordinary people. Oh, so he sounds like the Norman Rockwell of poetry, period. Leaves of Grass.
Me neither.
No, come back. Can I click
Let's
on...
go home, okay? Dad's on a shift today, but if he comes back to grab a bite to eat and I ain't there...
Brian scratches his neck and sticks out his tongue. Ashley laughs and punches him. Michael, trailing behind everyone, suddenly stops and looks at the only sign that still sparkles as brightly and cheerfully as the day it was hung.
The arcade's open! I doubt there's anyone there this late. We can play S-Fighter.
Usually calm and quiet, he now blossoms. Behind those thick glasses, his eyes shine with passion. Mikey's a gamer.
Totally. No stupid helpers, suckers, or high school jerks.
You guys are in high school. You graduate in 3 years. You're freshmen. The boys lean against the dusty window. I guess senior high is what they're talking about. As happy as if they're meeting their idols. The girls only snort in irritation.
What? Suddenly you're not gonna run back to your crib to avoid Daddy's shellacking?
Shellacking.
I'll risk it. There's always a chance Dad'll kick you in the head. But the chance to throw Hadoukens and not wait in a frickin' line for the game, now
Wait,
that's rare.
Are they... Okay.
It takes so little to make them happy, doesn't it?
Ashley glances at her friend.
Let him play. By the way, did you hear about the arcade machine that appears in the hall by itself?
Wow, that's convenient. Ashley rolls her eyes. Eva's fantasies and reality have little in common. Her friend refuses to grow up. In her world, even a tattered old shoe might open its jaws and spin some ridiculous yarn. And that's exactly why Ashley adores Eva. She's so incredibly different from Ashley's overly rational parents. And from Ashley, too. Okay, so Eva, the one who's dressed like an English teacher, loves making up stories. And you would think that she's the conservative stick in the mud, but it's actually Ashley, even though Ashley's wearing jeans and has a witchcraft pendant. So like that's a little bit unexpected, don't we think? A little bit shaking up the genre. Without her, getting bored is an impossible mission. Even if they were both locked in an empty basement, Eva would still manage to discover something fascinating there. She'd pull Ashley in and get her into trouble again, and they'd giggle about it later. She's the troublemaker? Why are you dressed like a school marm? Whatever. But Eva doesn't need to know that. It isn't like anyone can stop her anyway.
You start playing and can't stop. The game never ends. It's impossible. But you try over and over again. Forgetting about eating or even going to the bathroom. Over and over again. Not thinking of your parents and friends. Over and over again until...
Oh, so it's Polybius. Polybius?
Until you run out of your allowance, can't afford breakfast, and stay hangry for the rest of the week because you're
They did not say hangry in the 80s, bro. Michael peels away from the glass and adjusts his lopsided glasses.
Well, that doesn't sound so scary if you got no allowance to begin with. Want to go in or what?
Gosh, they're looking at us like dogs staring at a steak.
I don't like their attitude. Ashley waves her hand authoritatively.
It's creepy to go home when it's so dark out. But if you win 100 tickets, me and Eva are gonna pick a prize.
Okay, period. Act 2. It's high time for games. The tide is high and I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one. The spacious room is somehow stuffy, permeated. That's the second time the word permeated has appeared in this game. Permeated with the stench of hot plastic, unsuccessfully covered up by the pungent berry air fresheners.
Smells like wasted time.
As if. The shack smells nothing like school.
The clamor of screensavers and demo walkthroughs melds into a terrible cacophony. No wonder the zoned-out cashier is shielding himself from a set of greasy, cushioned headphones. The walls are plastered with posters, promotional flyers, and all sorts of paper trash. I like the alliteration on that sentence, actually. Promotional flyers, posters, and paper trash. I was a fan of that triple P. However, one ad stands out. If you beat the record, you can win tickets and exchange them for prizes. Such generosity was easily explained with the start of the school year. Kids have bit off have a bit more cash in their pockets than usual. I thought I was gonna say bit off more than you can chew, and I started going rogue. There's no one inside except the cashier. Yet the floor, peppered with trash, from crumpled soda cans and chocolate bar wrap. Okay. The arcade closes in 30 minutes. Local kids can only hang out there this hour in the summer. The hall is packed with all sorts of arcade machines, each game's name glowing invitingly. Okay, I'm illiterate and I can't read, sorry. Clips of characters deliberately failing to beat the different levels of trash on the street at a flash on the stream and How do I come back? Oh, okay. The boys start searching for the most interesting game. Alright, Monkey King. Does that say MAGA? We are not playing that one. What is that? No, I don't want to play Street Fighter. Oh, La Laga. This was once one of the most famous games. Now it's a veteran arcade cabinet used while the others are busy. I think we're gonna play Monkey King.
It's over here.
Monkey King! Okay. The boys run toward the machine. It hasn't been wrecked the way some of its time-worn neighbors have. Even so, the buttons and plastic casing bear scuffs and grubby marks left by countless kids' hands. Worst of all, instead of something thrilling music, the machine is emitting only a hoary wheeze, like an old man struggling to clear his throat instead of pushing a death rattle out of his rusty lungs. A piece of cardboard with a blood-curdling inscription is stuck to the screen. Temporarily out of order. Well, that looks like Street Fighter, and I wanted to play Monkey King.
God, where is your justice?
Who's the god of computer nerds? The monkey holding the barrel?
Brian grumbles something in response, and Michael just shrugs.
A technician's coming, but not till at least next Tuesday. So y'all need to choose some other game. Try Road Blasters. It's the freshest here.
Okay, well, the cashier points at the brand new arcade game, displaying a car blowing up and downing in a fiery pixelated cloud. Dang it! Michael's voice trembles. He seldom lets out a betray of such emotion, but Brian has his
What else
back.
have you got, other than cars?
All that and a bag of chips. If you're ranking the top 5 of Pumpkin Man, I'll give you a double prize.
Okay. Sorry, I just pushed my ring light. I have to kick back, put my legs up. I gotta get comfy. Alright. He nods towards the counter.
No one really plays this trash. We've got a real shot at setting a record.
I feel like I need to... Okay, that's better. Meow! A gray cat lounging on a chair next to another machine captures the girl's attention. 4 letters shine on her pink collar. It's a girl! Lucy.
So sweet.
Yeah, I want to pet the cat. Meow! She looks like my best friend's cat, June. The cat flattens her ears and grumbles.
I bet you $5 she doesn't remember how clean hands with no cheese ball dust on them feel.
Aw.
She kinda looks like the cat Mom was trying to paint last month.
Let me guess. The cat in the painting had mandibles and a pair of tentacles.
I wish. She was just in the background. Mom paints people. You know how it is.
Ashley knows. She wishes she didn't, though. Those paintings are why she prefers inviting Eva over rather than visiting her. Well, one of the reasons anyway. They'd had a slumber party at Eva's place twice. Both nights, Ashley had been plagued by nightmares. The root cause was a few masterpieces Eva's mom considered her favorites. Compared to those monstrosities, plain old horror movies were practically bright and cheery cartoons. Okay, Eva's mom sounds like a badass. Meanwhile, the boys approach the coin-operated Pumpkin Man machine. Oh, it's Pac-Man. Instead of the usual Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man, a bright orange pumpkin is flying through the levels, eating licorice candies. The display sears their eyes with poisonous shades as a bunch of green blots chase the voracious pumpkin.
What you think? Are these ghosts?
Michael peers at the sign.
Here's a hunter shooting the pumpkin with a shotgun.
They're restless hunter's souls then.
Awesome. Let him catch the pumpkin. Then everyone's happy. The hunters are safe in their graves, and we're home.
Brian decisively draws a handful of coins from his pocket and inserts them. The coins clatter through the machine's metal innards and settle in its stomach. The maze dissolves into pixels and rearranges itself for the first level. Its corridors are speckled with candies, and the ghosts begin darting ravenously around their cage.
Back home? With no prize. I ain't leaving until we empty out the prize count.
Okay, period. The cashier shudders at the thought. Okay, I guess you can... What is
We
on?
close in half an hour.
Oh, okay. Brian winks
Then
at
he's
Michael.
gonna have 15 minutes left over to cry over his empty counter.
Oh god, I gotta play.
To the left!
This time. This time.
This time. Hey, I didn't do that. No.
To the left!
Oh. Hey! Hey, I'm not doing that. What the freak? Okay, it works.
This time.
Ew. Why do we keep saying it like that?
To the left!
Shut up! Okay. I lost! Magic Bing, shaboing boing! What is up, Jackson?
Well, I guess we gotta be luckier next time. Who knew those ghosts would be so nimble?
Okay.
I'd rather read my history book than play this.
What's that? Okay. Oh, I just kind of blew out the microphone. Maybe. Brian pats his pocket, secretly hoping to find a couple more coins, but all that turns up are keys and a crumpled pack of the Salem menthol cigarettes, which he should probably hide before heading home. Oh, a bad boy. Chug Jug. I don't have my drink. Hold on. Don't move. If you move, I'm gonna beat you up tomorrow. Okay, I'm back. I did not expect you to hit that while I was chugging. What is Chug Jug, like 4 drinks of water? Woo! That was rough. I gulped a lot of it. I'm gonna have to pee later. Hope you know that. Hope you're aware. Okay. Do it. Not of goodness. He used to smoke around the older guys on his team, hoping to look tough and grown up. For each missing cigarette in a pack, their coach made him run a lap, but that didn't deter them. I don't know how any of this works. I'm just pressing buttons. So, if you press Chug Jug, I gotta chug my water. Like, really, really chug it. As for his friend Brian's bad Sabbath secret prove-a-doo-vidoo. Yeah, whatever. No doubt Ashley would call him an idiot and even would lecture him about the quicker and more entertaining ways to kick the bucket. Michael wouldn't judge him out loud, and he'd scrunch up his face at smoke. Okay, whatever. Smoking bad. Beeboo-baboo. At the moment, Brian would gladly take a drag. The pointless game is making him snap. He feels like giving that treacherous machine a good thump. Dude, okay, the words in this game, I promise I know how to read. The words in this game are kind of low-key
You
miserable.
won this time, you dirty piece of iron.
I didn't like that. Here we go. Frustrated, the guys... If you hit the heart shape with the plus sign... Oh, yeah. I think he hit some stickers already.
Look what I found. Someone hung them on the toilet paper holder.
Well, why? The restroom is a perfectly normal place for sensible people. She only wants to cheer her friends up, but that doesn't mean they won't tease. Her cheeks flush with embarrassment as she holds out the strip of 8 winning tickets. Dude, you're embarrassed you went to the bathroom? Grow up. It's only enough for a cheap keychain, but they're out of money, so they hit up the cashier.
How's it going?
The same as your arcane machines repairs.
Cashier only sniffs. Slinky, 20 winning tickets. A red Slinky and an American Golden Oldie. You can perform lots of simple. Why is it going so slow? Cube, 35. Well, I don't... Magic. Baseball, 40. I don't have enough. I only have 8 tickets. The Game Pod, 10,000 tickets. Old VHS tape with no price tag.
What is this crap?
Yeah, okay. The cashier turns around surprised.
No idea. Someone must have left it here. Y'all can just take it since you spent all your cheddar on Pumpkin Man anyway. Maybe it's a movie or something.
Me when I'm embarrassed for shitting and farting and pissing.
But what if the owner comes for it?
It's already been here all week. Doubt nobody needs it. Besides, visitors forget stuff here all the time. Y'all want to see my cap collection?
It's the tape from The Ring.
No thanks.
She snatches up the cassette and hides it in her bag. Brian hands the cashier his tickets.
Just give it to the next poor sucker who dares punishes himself with that crappy pumpkin game.
I don't like
Tell
him.
him he's not alone in this world.
Oh, okay. The guys... That's what I'm saying. What? Okay. The guys head for the exit, but suddenly the cat leaps off the chair and rubs up against Eva, then Ashley's legs. No longer displeased, Lucy swishes her tail excitedly and gazes affectionately at the teenagers. You'd never guess she looked like a bristling hedgehog just a half hour ago. Sorry, I won't keep doing that over and over. No, I don't care. Be my guest. That's what the buttons are for. Her nose twitches as if she's caught a whiff of her favorite food.
Silly cats. It's me and Michael who deserve some compassion after what that game did to us.
Bro, it was not that bad.
Never mind. We got much more than expected.
Eva pats the bag joyfully.
And what would that be?
A secret.
She's kind of real for that. I want to see what's on it. Act 3, a bad sign. Here's a bad sign. Most of the signs are already off. Submerging the tickets. It splashes out onto the square, engulfing it into blackness. Only a few pickups and locked bicycles are still around, all parked on the Marshall Sue's bar. The wind sweeps over the fields. The element that usually toys with the harvested coin now moans forlornly, plunging the suburb into melancholy. These words are not necessary. Why say many word when few word do trick? That's all I'm saying. Winter will change everything. Stores and bars will be strung into sparkling beads of colorful lights. The snow will smooth the wrinkles and scars of Riverwood. The town will take on a deceptively pretty and cozy facade. As a kid, Michael loved strolling around during Christmas vacation, munching on hot pies and watching snowflakes fall through the thick windows of a coffee shop. Back then, he never noticed the aging buildings, chipped concrete, or gloomy people trying to fake a smile. In autumn, however, the suburb's flaws stand out more sharply. It looks underwhelming, gray, lifeless. No wonder Eva calls it the season of ghosts. Just thinking of it gives him the creeps!
Well, we're late. Granny and Grandpa will be upset.
Oh, Granny and Grandpa will be upset. Okay, loser.
If that's the worst that'll happen, then you may as well stay out a little later.
Okay, period. That's what I'm saying. Eva pulls out the cassette tape and looks it over.
What you think? Is there anything on it?
It looks like a personal archive of a maniac who killed a lot of people and recorded their achievements for their descendants to watch. A comfy basement, hooks, candles.
Why would that be the case?
Or an auto shop with a buzzsaw and a big meat freezer.
The friends pass through the square towards the scattering of newer houses. This area doesn't have as much junk lying around as the park does. The residents here are relatively wealthy. Eva's father once mentioned that most of his customers lived around here. They always need new furniture, doors, sturdy boards for fresh construction. Nothing bad can happen in a place like that. Well, I don't know about that. But horror movies have convinced Eva otherwise. Quiet, affluent neighborhoods are exactly where the creepiest things happen. No one expects them there, so prey can be easily captured, warm and unaware.
What if the cassette is cursed?
Yeah, what if it is?
Please. I bet it's that freak cashier's home video. He's probably posing in a French maid costume.
The realest of the group. They reach Ashley's driveway. It boasts a large yard with plenty of space for a treehouse, pool, and a heated shed. Yeah, above ground pool. Okay, tacky police. I'm joking. Ooh. Fancy houses like that look alien in Riverwood, jamming a few expensive implants into a row of rotten teeth. Hi, Bree! The suburb is in no hurry to accept them, but over time it will wrap them in its shawl of mist and drizzle, engulf them in vines and weeds. It will be years before they truly belong. For now, the house's red-tiled roof gleams, pavement has not cracked, sprouted, or fresh roots or dogged grass, whatever. It's new. The house is new. The only light still on is in their parents' bedroom upstairs, which means Ashley will have to make her own dinner and have it cold.
Ash, you have an old VHS player in your shed, don't you?
Yeah, but I should have gotten rid of it after you bought that creepy Italian movie about ballerina.
Suspiria, 1977, a cult Italian horror film by Dario Argento about a ballet academy hiding a coven of witches behind its artistic facade. I've heard of that. I think I've seen clips of that. They pause by the decorative fence. Eva keeps touching her bag as if making sure the consolation prize is still safe. Ashley might have acted overdramatic, but truth be told, she'd enjoyed that movie too. She even tried to recreate some of its ballet passe. I don't know if that's how you say that. It had a remake about a decade ago. What? And I didn't hear about it? Watching the horror movies with friends, yeah, it sounds like Black Swan, but creepier. I know Dario, whatever his name is, Argento, is really, his style is really, really cool. Dakota Johnson is in it? Okay, I'm sat. Watching horror movies with friends is a special kind of thrill. You feel less scared, but you have more fun. You notice something you'd missed before, discuss the details, and try to figure out who feared what.
Wanna watch? I ain't gonna sleep till I know what's on it.
It's not gonna be anything like, okay, I know in this case it's gonna be haunted. It's gonna be a haunted tape because that's what the game description said. But like in reality, like it wouldn't be anything. The boys don't mind. They're eager to shake off the sting of defeat at the arcade center so badly that they prefer getting into trouble over and over again for coming home late. I can't stop yawning. Okay. Ashley just shrugs and heads for the shed. Head for the shed. Act 4. A comfy place. It's like a quiet place, but more comfy and not as quiet. As far as the friends are concerned, Ashley's shed is the best and coziest place in the whole suburb. They spent most of their evenings there in winter, where there's nowhere else to hang out, at high risk of being targeted by the high schoolers' snowballs. I love that one. There's plenty of space for board games and fooling around. They can be as loud as they like, and Ashley can always bring them snacks or soda from home. Is this Ashley's brother? He looks exactly like Ashley, but older. Her father originally planned to turn the space into a man cave, complete with a couch and a big TV, but he's been overwhelmed with work lately, so most of the time the friends are free to use the shed. But that day, they aren't alone. Chris, Ashley's older brother, is already inside, laying on a shabby carpet and playing his new console. Only as they enter does Ashley remember that Chris is grounded for coming home drunk from a party. He isn't allowed to see his friends this month, but some of his buddies must have lent him the gaming console so he wouldn't get too bored. Does everyone get ads at the same time or is it random? I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask them. As the front door squeaks open, he swiftly hides a pack of cigarettes under. Dude, every kid in this game is sucking on cancer sticks.
It's just you suckers. I thought Daddy shut up and was about to teach me how to live again.
What the fuck?
What you doing?
Sorry, didn't mean to say what the fuck,
Ashley
but what the
decided
fuck?
to show you our true family treasures.
The shed is filled with dated furniture living out its last days and unused equipment covered in dust, plus other miscellaneous items that the family are too lazy to get rid of. Ashley's family is rich enough that they don't need to sell all their old junk, so a lot of it has been stuffed into the shed. I like that mirror. I'll take that off their hands. It is secret. Little Ashley loved looking into it and imagining she was a Disney princess. Eva would barely even glance at the mirror. She was 110% convinced that Bloody Mary was going to come out of it if she wasn't careful. The old motorcycle. About 3 years ago, before Ashley and Brian started dating, Brian saddled it up and drove it into the creek. Ashley burst into laughter and Brian was banned from visiting Ashley's house. That ban seems to have been lifted. An archaic Atari Pong console. Ashley's father played it as a teenager, but the only controller broke long ago, so did the console itself. Chris's battered punching bag. Someone must have thrown hatchets and darts into it. Yeah, I wonder who did that. Probably Chris, because he looks like a maniac. The funny scarecrow from the Bennett's field. Ashley asked Chris to steal it after the Bennett's youngest daughter lost her doll. It was hard to believe, but Eva swore the scarecrow has moved on its own. Okay, that's everything. That looks like everything. Is that everything? Oh, he's so bad. He's so bad. Chris retrieves the cigarettes and pulls one out with his teeth. Brian notices the trick so he can try it later. It looks thrilling. He doubts his attempt will look as natural as Chris's did, but it's worth a little practice. What if he manages to impress the high schoolers or the guys from the neighboring town's baseball team? Taunting opponents and getting on their nerves is a time-honored tradition. Brian imagines himself strolling past them, deftly pulling out a cigarette, then smoking and asking why they sent a team of sissies to the game.
Don't you have to stay in your room and feign remorse?
And what about you? Shouldn't you be catching Z's, not wandering around in the dark? Or you want to see who can disappoint our parents?
Oh, he's a bad boy. He's bad. He exhales a ring of blue smoke. The winter is clear.
No. Unlike you, I care about my future. We just want to watch a cassette. Why don't you just go do something else for a bit? We need the TV.
As if. Get out of here, kids.
Oh, boo. He turns to the TV and keeps playing. To deceive Chris? To persuade Chris? Let's deceive him. Harmless fiction, but Ashley isn't gonna back down. We're tricking him! We're tricking him! Her brother is as simple and predictable as an old penny. She won't even break a sweat fooling him. All you really need to know is whose opinion matters more to him than his own, whose personal business he cares about more than video games, and what he's afraid of missing out on. What will make him jealous? Ashley's eyes narrow slyly
I'll
at
check
Chris.
the TV for some intel, bro.
Go on.
He's still staring at the screen. Same time, I think. He's still staring at the screen through the smoke cloud, frantically clicking the controller's buttons.
We stumbled on your cronies out there. Sam and Bobby, right? They were asking if you're still grounded. They were pretty upset that you couldn't keep them company.
Chris throws his sister a wary glance. Sam and Barbie are real douchebags. Rumors of their wicked deeds are always flying around this town. Ashley knows Chris is afraid of them, but he'd do anything to get into their gang. He's constantly schmoozing them with free drinks and cigs.
You really think I'm gonna fall for that bull?
It's true. I also saw them near the old water tower. They were gonna steal Pam's motorcycle and ride it to the flour mill.
Chris jumps up, nearly burning his fingers on a cigarette.
Why the hell were they going there?
Chris knows his sister can make up any nonsense on the spot if she wants to take advantage of something, but Eva he trusts. She's a good girl. He doubts she'd lie. He can see right through his little sis. Ashley thinks that she's a master manipulator, but her expression is a dead giveaway when she's lying. But Eva's different. They've known each other forever, and she never lies so blatantly, unless, of course, it comes to the stories about ghosts that haunt the old school, or the mysterious drowned man that the girls totally met at the lake one day.
Grandpa says truck drivers sometimes sneak bourbon into the factory in gas cans and sell it to the night shift workers. Best bourbon in the state. That's what he says.
I bet they weren't gonna buy it. They were gonna steal it. That would be fun.
He yanks his sneakers on and rushes for the door. Before he leaves, he glances over his shoulder and
Watch
sneers.
out, Four Eyes. If you're just trying to ditch me, your ass is gonna be my punching bag next time. Eva, you don't count.
We're gonna start. What is this freaky odd game? It's supposed to be like a nostalgic 80s horror game, but the voice acting, not gonna lie, it's a little sexually charged. I'm not even kidding. Okay, Chris disappears into the night, and Michael wipes the cold sweat from his forehead.
He isn't gonna punch me, is he?
Is
he,
he?
guys?
Is he?
It's just Ashley's brother, not some damn high schooler who likes robbing kids.
Ashley doesn't really agree. Chris has changed lately. He used to play sports. He's never smoked or followed complete idiots before. Their parents were proud of his medals and trophies. Their dad always claimed that any college would accept Chris on the athletic scholarship if he couldn't make it academically. And once he entered college, he would straighten out. But there's nothing left to straighten out anymore. Nostalgic 80s in the same sentence. I'm not Gen X, bro. Hey, that's how it's marketed, not how it's true to me. Alright. Nobody offers scholarships for partying and hanging around bad company. Okay.
Let's just start, okay?
I don't care about Chris at all. Sorry! She glances at the moon. The cassette is not the only reason she wants to hurry up. What is she, a damn werewolf? What is happening?
Turn it on, Brian.
Brian changes the TV to AV mode and slides a cassette in the VHS player. Static noise dances on the screen, curved and covered in dust. The speakers let out a soft hiss, followed by a squeak.
Hope the tape's not blank. Otherwise, Michael's gonna get beat up for no reason.
It's kind of funny, Loki. Michael shivers and glances around as if Chris might already be creeping up on him. His fist raised to strike.
It can't be blank. Hurry up and take your seats. We don't want to miss anything.
It can be blank, though. Like, it can be. Eva settles down against one of the pillows, and her friends follow suit. The TV continues flickering, disrupting the peace of the shed. The wind sweeps out of the fields and descends. They're the imposter. Yeah. She looks up at the... Oh, man, I hope it's not a full moon tonight. Sneaking through the streets like a wild animal following for its prey, it shoves the shed, making it sway and creak like a popping joint. Their only lamp flickers, casting shadows on the piles of garbage in the corners.
Is there any other light in here?
As if to answer Michael's question, a picture begins to form on the screen. Black and gray static stripes to morph an image, taking on colors and shapes. One part becomes studio walls. Another area changes into a decorated set of the Friday night show. The rest turn into the body of a game show host wearing a striped suit jacket. Well, you know stripes are bad. I don't know of a single good guy who wears stripes. The host is half turned and staring at the camera as if waiting on the director's signal.
At least he's not a maniac.
Don't speak too soon.
I mean, who's the guy who plays villains? Guy with white hair who plays villain all the time. Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough. Guys, does he not look exactly like Neil McDonough? Hold on. Wait. Hey, that's too bright. There we go. Yeah, does he not look exactly like Neil There it is! There it is! Okay, this is my new persona. Hi, guys. My name is Neil McDonough. Okay, there we go. An invisible orchestra bursts into a cacophonous that players should have been whipped for their miserable performance on instrument. Hold on, I got this, guys. Nobody panic. I said nobody panic. Please, make that a sticker for us to use. Hold on. I got this. I got this. Okay. Hold on. Oh yeah. I need to make that a sound. Oh no. I just screenshot it on accident. Hold on. Okay. I'm thinking, if you just stick with me, you also need the metal pipe banging sound. I do. Okay. Here we go. Much better. There we go. Alright, yeah. Guys, what do we think? An invisible orchestra bursts into music so cacophonous that the players should have been whipped for their miserable That's a little harsh, don't you think?
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, my sweet and miserable guests, to the most unique, funniest,
Funniest. The angle abruptly changes. The studio looks suddenly less cheerful. The walls have lost their false gloss and bright hues. Half of the spotlights go out. Those that remain are only dim. But the host keeps smiling!
To the most unique, funniest, and scariest show on TV.
The friends exchange puzzled glances.
I bet my hand that this is something you've never seen before and will never see again. Sadly, I've got nothing left to bet. I ate my hand before the show.
Somewhere in the background, canned laughter and applause ring out. The teenagers certainly believe the host really did devour his hand before the show. Well, they don't really look like they did. His behavior is odd. His speech is too dramatic. He keeps breaking into screams, choking on his cackling. Somehow he managed to act both insanely cheerful. Oh, sorry, I got a little carried away. Somehow he managed to act both insanely cheerful and inappropriately gloomy at the same time, depending on the angle the producer chooses.
Bullshit. What a waste of time.
No, wait, let's just watch a little longer. I've never heard of the show. How about we give it a chance?
Period, Eva. Michael and Brian nod intently at the flickering screen. Damn, I'm going crazy. That looks exactly like him! Does that not look exactly like my guy, Neil McDonough? They could be twins! They could literally be twins! Okay, guys, please let me know. Who would you rather have host tonight's stream? Me or Neil McDonough? Me or Neil McDonough? I miss Melody? Okay, fair enough. Well, you know what? You can have us both. How about that? Is that good? Can we... Oh no, hang on. Let me get really close. And then also, let me zoom the image in a little more and then scoot him this. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's just really not giving the energy that I wanted it to give. I'm so petty. Okay. Never a worse setup. Shut up! I'm the producer of this show. As the host, as if waiting for their verdict, steps back from the camera and holds up his hands in an inviting gesture. He says, "Oh, my kitten, are you ready to join my Discord server?"
So come on, take a seat, the broken and prideful.
The shot changes. Yeah! I'm crazy!
The reserved and those embracing everything new.
The
The
shot
brave,
changes.
cowardly, dependent, and free. Get comfortable. Enjoy.
The screen ripples. I don't like ripples. It rhymes with nipples. The host's voice dwindles, then deepens. Sounds are muffled, as if emanating from the cellar filled with soil. The picture dissolves into a rippled black and white mess. The terrible crack bursts out of the speakers.
The end. That's enough for today.
What if there's more? Who'd spoil a whole cassette to record such a short clip?
Yeah, period, Michael. Period, Michael. Period. Eva sets up from the pillow and goes to the VHS player to fast forward a bit. Her hand is already outstretched when the beeps speed up. They boom out bass. Can't you hear that boom ba-dum boom boom ba-dum boom bass? Yeah, that's super bass. That boom ba-dum boom boom ba-dum boom bass. Yeah, that's Super bass. This one is for the boys with the boomer system, top down AC with the cooler system. When they come up in the club, I be blazing up. I got stacks on deck, I'm saving up. I can heal, he will, he not gonna deal. He pop bottles and he got that right kind of deal. He might still dope. He's always in the air, but he never fly coach. He's a motherfucker trip. Kiss him on the lip. Now that's the kind of guy I was looking for. Hey, you guys, you get slapped if you look at all. I said, excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. I mean, my. He's like Pelican Fly. I mean, you're so shy, and I'm loving your tie. You're like slicker than the guy with the thing on his eye. Oh, yes I did. Somebody please tell him who the F.I. is. I am Nicki Minaj. How you do ya? Boy, you come on. Nicki might be MAGA, but I'm not. And I'm replacing Nicki Minaj. It's like interpretive art, in a way, I guess. Okay, suddenly, OMG, I knew you were Republican. No! No. Couldn't be me. Hi, Puka. What's up? Suddenly, the beep sounds subdued. A steady hum emanates from the speakers. How dare you call them the R word? Republican. The worst R word. Eva freezes, peering at the screen.
How's he doing it?
No one answers. Act 5. Back to the drawing board. The noise pouring out the speakers absorbs all other sounds, but it isn't hissing, cackling, or howling anymore. It's knocking. At first, it's monotonous, but the knocking speeds up. It belts in their eardrums like an old alarm clock mercilessly rattling every morning. Eva shakes her head to drive away the nightmarish vision and rubs her face with her palms. But the knocking is still there, and Eva knows what's making it. It's a branch from the old hazel tree her father has been threatening to cut down for 2 years. It must have again gotten its gnarled fingers caught on the windowsill. It scratches the window every time it blows. But today, a true storm is raging outside. What today a true storm is raging outside, kitten. The wind washes the window, covering it with dirty spots as the hurricane-like gusts shake the hazel tree like a school bully shaking down a junior. Confused, Eva checks her bedroom. Everything looks as usual. The table and the shelves are perfectly arranged, the bed carefully made. Even the posters are still hanging. I'm still on my work trip, but I just want to say hi. Hi! Love you! Okay. The bed carefully made. Even the posters are still hanging in a strict line as if they were in an art exhibit. This doesn't look like a strict line. Somebody wrote this before the art was made, in my opinion. I have to sneeze a little. I had to sneeze a little bit. Eva loves it when everything is in place. Whenever her mother is overwhelmed at work, Eva and her father are left responsible for cleaning the house. The less you litter, the less you have to clean. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. A Talenzia flower. It looks like it sprang right out of the pages of a fairy tale. It gave her mother an exhibition and it's growing in a pot. She likes flowers. Okay, that's all we need to know. The book Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Oh, I like how you can, like, tap the little purple things. This whimsical monsters frightened and fascinated children. Eva adored it as a kid. Now she's reading it to her younger brother. A family photograph. It was taken the day Eva had got her first braces. Tony was tiny back then, and their parents looked happy. Her mother wasn't absorbed in her art career yet. Back then, she cared about her family more than her canvases and paints. What? Oh. A VHS collection. There's light mystery in the first row. Behind that are slashers. The third row is reserved for Italian horror movies, marked with one strange word. Giallo. Giallo? Italian horror and thriller films with vibrant and strange style. Mysterious killers and active... okay, that's like, Suspiria that we were talking about. Cool. Behind everything else, hidden in a Cinderella castle, is the creepy movie Necromancer, a 1987 German horror film about necrophilia and madness that became... Okay, gotta watch that! Putting that on my Letterboxd. Shine me the fuck up. I love it. I love it. I need to see that. Alright, alright. Oh. A feather. Their parrot, Sancho, lived for 6 years. His loss was unbearable, so Eva still had one of his feathers as a keepsake. At first, she couldn't handle looking at it. She burst into tears every time she saw it. Eva's head shoots up as she hears quiet steps approaching.
Tony?
Aw, Tony. He's so cute. Do we think they're Italian? Her name's Eva and his name's Tony, and she's obsessed with Italian horror films. I think we got a little Italian representation in the chat. Ooh. Hey, Tony! What's up, Tony? Her brother is standing by the door, shifting from one foot to the other, holding a thick cardboard cup with a string attached to the bottom. The string writhes on the floor and crawls through the hallway. His long-sleeved shirt with a pink dinosaur was Dad's gift to him last Christmas. Since then, Tony takes it off only at bedtime and for laundry. Lately, Eva's brother always looks a little confused, even though he's only wandered into Eva's room by accident after getting lost in his own home. His big blue eyes hold a strange expression she can't quite describe. No matter how much she talks to him, words are never enough. Even when, the most important questions are answered. Sorry, I just got a Twitter notification that one of my favorite celebrities might be gay, so I got a little distracted because I was like, who? Who? Really? But it was fake. It was a joke. It was a prank, and I feel sad now. Tony just comes up with new ones.
I fixed her thread. String telephone. Here. Yesterday I could barely hear anything.
Cute. Eva takes the cup and puts it on her nightstand.
It's time to go to bed, baby. When you're all set, pull the string twice and I'll read some bedtime stories for you.
That's cute! She ruffles his hair and he happily runs back to his bedroom. They often talk to each other before bedtime because Tony isn't used for falling asleep alone. Dude, I thought these didn't work if they were touching things. Like if they were touching the floor or the wall or something, I thought they didn't work because the vibration gets sent into the wall instead of to the cup. The string slowly tightens and lifts up from the floor, which means Tony is already in bed and ready to listen. Eva pulls the cup to her ear. She heard the familiar creaks and rustles from the other side.
Can you hear me, Tony?
Loud and clear. I fell asleep today. By myself. Well, I almost did.
He's so cute.
Then a huge storm hit. Thunder. And something creaked in the closet, so
Aw, he doesn't finish. He's ashamed of his childish behavior, though he does his best to look brave for Eva. But blaming him for his fears would be foolish. Of course kids are scared when a storm is raging and the thunder is crashing right outside, especially if their room is dark and windowless. It's easier for Eva. As a child, she learned to befriend her fears. She often left a bowl of milk or a handful of candy out in case the monster was lurking under her bed. That's kind of cute too. And then it's not a monster anymore, but a little buddy rustling candy wrappers in the middle of the night. Hey, I'm a little bit concerned if you're actually hearing it rustle though. Like you might have a mouse problem. Low key.
Then
How to Get Roaches 101. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Story.
They're surrounded by routine. She wants to calm Tony down the way she used to wish her father sweet dreams, to leave a croissant for her mother in the kitchen. These people are like manic pixie dream people, bro.
what's the story about? Is it scary? I don't really want to hear a scary story today.
No, it's a legend about a magical arcade machine that teleports brave and obedient kids into its world of adventures.
Oh, we're teaching kids to be obedient now? Okay, I didn't realize we were giving into the capitalist machine, but whatever. For some reason, amid the whirlwind of thoughts and images racing through her mind, she chose an arcade machine, or rather, it chooses itself as if it were alive. It appears in her mind's eye with all of its beauty, all of the black oily luster and 2 scarlet buttons. Yeah, I wish I had a mind's eye. I wish I could do that. Aphantasia gang, rise up. But she can't present that to Tony as is. It needs to be wrapped in something brighter, lighter, and more mysterious. Her baby brother sighs with excitement.
It must be dangerous there. There are lots of monsters in games.
He's cute.
It's an adventure. It wouldn't be an adventure without monsters.
Fair enough. Without warning, someone opens the door. The string falls limp. Eva drops the cup and gas. Why are we scared of our mom? Her mother's into the room, tired, disheveled, and soaked in the odor of solvent, paints, and coffee. Perhaps she's worked too long again and remembered that she missed dinner only half after her dizziness. Dude, I'm starting to think that Ava's mom is abusing paint thinner. Or Eva's mom is starting to abuse paint thinner. She always complains about that to Eva's father.
Didn't hear you come home. Why are you up so late?
She glances on the cup rolling on the floor. Eva's mother scarcely understands that what her children are up to. What's all the late night storytelling for? Why can't Tony just go to bed and fall asleep? She's shocked every time one of them outgrows the last year's clothes. Bro, she sucks. Even now, surprise lights up her reddened eyes.
Chatting with Tony again? He needs to learn to fall asleep on his own. Tell him to brush his teeth and go to bed right now.
How about you do it, bitch? You're a terrible mother.
Put these toys to good use.
Of course, Mom. Tony's almost asleep. Oh, today was so long, but cool. We cleaned up the chemistry room, then we went to the arcade center, and then I came back home.
Eva stopped abruptly. Something's missing. Something crucial, but she can't remember. And judging by her wandering gaze, her mother still hasn't returned to the world of images, shades, and episodes of other people's lives, all captured on canvas.
You know what? You're right. Tony ought to fall asleep without my chatter tonight. Good night, Mom.
She doesn't even get a smile in return. It's as if her mother's emotions have been drained out of her like water from a shattered vase. Perhaps they've all settled on their canvases instead, leaving not a single drop for real life. Year after year, her work has devoured her, turning her into a completely different person.
Good night, darling.
Good night.
I think I'm gonna have a cup of milk and go to bed, too.
Her voice actor is a little bad, not gonna lie.
Mom going to bed? No, not her.
Eva knows her mother will go back to the workshop soon. She doesn't fall asleep until dawn, completely exhausted next to her easel. Dude, she's a painter. Like, no offense, as somebody who does art and paints, she has, like, the easiest job in the world. Like, you know that you can paint during the day? You don't have to paint all night? Like, you can paint at daytime? Like, why are you being such a bitch because you chose to be nocturnal? Psh. When her mother closes the door, Eva picks the cardboard phone up and hangs it on the hook where her dad screwed the wall specifically in to hold it. I just said her dad screwed the wall because I read that wrong. Everybody ignore that. The cup hardly even touches Ava's hands when the string tightens again.
Tony, go to bed. Mom just came and scolded us for chatting.
You promised me a story about an arcade machine.
Eva suddenly feels exhausted that she can't even fathom making up the simplest story. Not even another yarn about the brave veggie kingdom that she's stuffed in his ear since childhood to teach him to love healthy food. Is her full job painting, or is she working a 9 to 5 and painting all night? It literally said her job is a painter. Like, it literally said that. It literally said that her job is a painter. Because earlier in the story, we were going through Eva's stuff, and it said that, oh, this is a family portrait before her mom became a full-time painter. Or something like that. Like, I am under the impression that Eva's mom does this all the time. If she's inherited part of their mother's fatigue, Eva's eyes water from drowsiness, and her legs go weak. Someone roofied Eva. Woo! Okay, Eva doesn't want to upset Tony, but it's really late. They should have been in bed long ago. And there's no better weather for curling up under a warm, cozy blanket. How about you just have Tony come sleep with you, bro? It's really not that deep. I don't know. But Tony isn't about to let her go that fast. For him, it's just raining or lightning outside. It's bloodthirsty creatures lurking behind the walls. And only Eva's voice is going to keep their shadows from seeping through their vents and cracks in the plaster.
Go to bed, little one. I'll come up with 2 adventures for you tomorrow. I promise.
Tony wants to protest, but the offer is too tempting. Sometimes he begs her to make up new stories about his favorite characters, but he mostly listens. 2 whole stories waiting for him the next night? It feels like a fair trade for one night's peace. Besides, the thunder has already stopped splitting the sky, and now only rain is rustling softly against the roof and grass outside.
Okay.
Sweet dreams.
She puts the cup away. Her eyelids seem insanely heavy, but strange thoughts occupy her mind. Not even bothering to put on her pajamas, Eva collapses onto the bed and presses her cheek against the pillow. Today really was long and hard. So much happened. The outburst in chemistry class, cleaning, walking along Riverwood Park with her friends, shopping the shopping square and arcade center.
What was next?
She can't remember watching that tape. There's a blank space in her memory between the arcade center and coming home. Fragments of phrases, merry beeping music, a flickering light. Her lethargy evaporates. Eva rolls onto her back and stares at the ceiling. Something has definitely happened. But the memory keeps slipping away, getting lost. It's something important that happened at the arcade center, but it's clinging. Dude, I keep seeing like something change on the screen. I keep thinking I'm getting messages when I'm not. Okay. Engulfing Riverwood. Of course, the old town has been keeping secrets for many generations. The ghosts of the ancient church Eva's grandmother told her about, the cursed coin, the bodies buried on the foundation of the town hall. But those are just legends, not evidence of them. Nothing has ever been found. She just needs to remember how she, Ashley, Brian, and Michael stepped into the arcade center, and she hears a silent rustle next to her. The makeshift phone is crawling along the nightstand. Eva manages to catch it just before she falls. She quickly presses the cup to her lips.
You're still awake?
A sickening, ear-splitting screech is the only response. Astonished, Eva can hardly suppress her scream. That sounds just like the electric timer in the art workshop attic. Her mom set it up so that the jarring sound would distract her from her work every 3 hours. It reminds her that there are other people living in the house who she should spend time with. But why was that shriek right next to her baby brother? She doubts Tony took the timer into his room. Eva hurries into the room to check on them. The bed is empty. Eva throws up her hands. Tony rarely leaves his room at night. He always leaves a cup of water or milk on his nightstand before bed so he won't have to go to the kitchen, and he would have passed Eva's room if he had gone into the bathroom. If nothing else, she should definitely have heard his footsteps. There's only one other place where Tony and her mom's alarm clock could be at the same time. It isn't something he normally does, but she can't think of a better explanation.
What a silly boy. Why did you go to the workshop? He should know better. He'll have bad dreams if he looks at Mom's paintings.
Okay, Mom is apparently painting horror shit all the time. They could influence even an adult's mind so terribly that there's always a nurse on standby at her exhibitions. What? What kind of painter is her mom? What is happening? Ready to tend the most impressionable visitors. The thought of what Tony might see horrifies Eva. She remembers how Ashley tossed and turned, unable to sleep after visiting the workshop during a sleepover. How she complained about the nightmares afterward. Alright, her job is to paint, I guess snuff scenes. Like, I don't know. What could she be painting? I don't know. I think we're about to find out, gang. If her brother sees those paintings, she'll be up all night distracting him from anxious thoughts. As for the next day, not even 2 stories will be enough.
Tony, what's up with the radio silence?
Not a single sound comes from the other side of the toy phone. Eva doesn't like it when Mom scolds her, and she likes it even less when the one being scolded is Tony. And her brother is 110% going to be punished for going into Mom's workshop without permission. Eva creeps into the hall and peers around carefully. Only now does she notice that the string leads toward the attic in the entryway. It's hard to discern on the first try, as it's lying right within the line of the baseboard. The mom is Francisco Goya? Yeah! I love an art reference. Period. What is up, Froggy Blue 04? Only now does she notice the strings leads towards the attic entryway. It's hard to discern on the first try, as it's lying in sight with the baseboard. Eva timidly passes her parents' bedroom and hesitates by the stairs leading up to the second floor. Even there, a few of her mom's paintings, unpleasant to look at in dim light, are hung on the walls. Why would you hang, like, gore photos on the walls in a house with children? Like, I get it, I'm a weirdo, I do weird stuff, I love horror movies, but, like, come on, there's kids. Like, what? Okay. Their father has been planning to take them down or move them elsewhere, but he doesn't want to upset his wife. He has no idea how to bring it up, so the image of a woman pressing her palms into her face and still staring into the corridor with white eyes, a black silhouette flits to the left on the side of the stairs. Eva presses the cup to her lips and whispers,
Tony, go downstairs while Mom's in the kitchen. Alright, I'm coming up, but if Mom catches us both, I'll get in trouble first.
We are
And I'll have
acting.
every right to be mad at you, Tony. Who knows? Maybe you won't be getting an ice cream this weekend.
Dude, we're acting like her mom is like Hello Neighbor. We are acting like her mom is like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like her mom is like Granny. Like, why are we scared? Like, what's she gonna do? Say go to bed? Like, is this a domestic violence situation? What is happening? She smiles and walks upstairs. It's really hard to stay angry at her little brother. All over the stairs, there's Slinkies of all colors. Tony is always playing with them on the stairs, racing them and setting them up like contestants. Rabbit Mo, a stitched-up teddy bear named Pig. Oh, I thought Rabbit Mo was the stitched-up teddy bear named Pig. I'm like, he's a rabbit and a teddy bear and a pig, but I get it now. Rabbit Mo, a stitched-up teddy bear named Pig, and a shapeless stuffed owl Eva bought at an autumn fair. Whichever Slinky wins depends on who spends the night in Tony's bed as a reward. But Tony is usually careful to clean up after himself every night and puts the Slinkies back into their assigned boxes. The mess he's left tonight is completely inexplicable. And Tony isn't on the stairs. The phone string is laced through the gap under the door at the top. Okay. Banned. You're banned. AI. Banning the AI. Docs, chat, Hold on. I gotta fix something. How do I... right when I say meow, I'm back to work, boss. You don't have to do it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. Meow! The words are written with an extremely beautiful script. Her mother's handwriting. A funny sketch of a three-headed dog guards the door. Ah, this mom is so emo, it ticks me off so bad. Like, if you want to be a goth baddie, that's fine, but can we not traumatize our kids about it? Like, what the fuck? Okay. Eva painted that hellhound 2 years ago when she was into Greek mythology. Okay, Cerberus. Okay, Poplove. I thought that. Her mother was delighted that her daughter liked painting too, but it was Eva's last drawing. Oh, yeah, that's so scary. Okay, it's a man with 3 heads. Ah. The door opens with ease, letting Eva into a short, narrow hallway. Eva had a rare chance to see new and failed works. But this isn't the kind of rule Eva's tempted to break. The older she gets, the less she cares about her mom's paintings. It isn't the framed nightmares she wants to see, but the person who creates them. The paintings make lasting impressions on everyone. Some are enchanting, others are frightening. Mom mostly paints people, or to be precise, their emotions. Eva prefers paintings of fairies, magic, and fantasies, or ordinary photographs. At least, that kind of art doesn't make Eva wonder why an orphan who's just been taken in by a family is crying amid their adoptive parents' shared joy, or why the wife of an unlucky worker is sad when he wins a considerable sum in the lottery. Taking a breath, Eva heads deeper into the workshop. The darkness thickens. It feels dense and sticky and sweet like jelly. With every moment that passes, it feels more distinct on the skin, tangling in her hair and staining her blouse in patches. The darkness? What? The light switch is next to the painting depicting hunger. As she reaches for the switch, Eva thinks about touching the cold, sallow skin of the dying girl in the picture. Meanwhile, a self-portrait of her mother, who looks more like a shriveled-up corpse than herself, rears back as if she's about to sink her loose teeth into Eva's fingers. The lamps flicker frantically, choked by the darkness. No! Dad promised to fix the wiring a month ago, but so far he's only opened the breaker panel. Dude, what the actual freak? Like, how are you painting in a dark room? Does that make any sense? No.
Perfect timing.
Eva mumbles aloud just to hear the reassuring sound of her own voice and to attract Tony's attention. Though her brother isn't naughty, he sometimes hides and waits for someone to find him, but he only ever in his bedroom or Eva's.
Why in the world did he go to the workshop this late?
Oh god, we got a pregnant woman, like, having, like, a a birth or a miscarriage or something. Sorry, trigger warning, I guess. Eva begins to coil the string around her hand. The hope is that it's all just a dumb prank or a silly childish game from her darkest thoughts. And yet, everything feels strange and wrong. It's nothing like she's used to. She wants the game to end with a stupid cry of boo from around the corner.
Tony must have hidden behind some old canvases or the curtain. There's nowhere else to hide in here, so finding him will be a piece of cake.
In the darkness, she trips over one of the paintings.
Damn it!
Overcoming her unease, Eva realizes she's angry. Angry at Tony, at Dad, at Mom, the house, that wretched workshop where you can't even take a single step without tripping over some nightmare. It's like the frames, the rolled up canvases, and the stools are throwing themselves under her feet on purpose. In the void, it depicts a broken woman who's lost her baby in childbirth. The heartbroken mother has sunk to the floor, wrapping her arms around her stomach. A pool of blood is spreading beneath her. Such works are especially successful at art exhibits. Once her mother even took an art to a personal show in Indianapolis. Apparently, that's why she's been painting more and more. The sadness, the pain, the tragedy of an ordinary person resonate the most with her audience. Okay, well maybe she should find a new audience, because it sounds like her audience is kind of scary. The Nameless, an unfinished work. BRB, an unfinished work. A happy woman is carrying a puppy wrapped in sheets. Oh God, what? Don't go away while I'm gone. Okay, I won't. I won't go away! I won't end it! The game just started! We just got to the scary part. The Old Fisherman. It's a silhouette of an old man on a pier. If you look closely, you can see that he has neither fishing rods nor gear, only a single knife. The water around the old man's feet, dispersing into the lake, has a crimson hue. Oh, he killed someone. The fish have fed his family for years. Maybe he's decided to return the favor. Okay. Suddenly, Eva realizes there's something wrong with the paintings. Her mother usually paint people's features and facial expressions in intricate detail to convey the most valuable aspect of her art, emotions. But now the paintings are a mess of paint, and instead of faces, they've been ruined by smearing them with wet palms.
Tony, you'd better come out. This isn't funny. Both of us are gonna be punished if Mom...
The string coiled up around Eva's hand tightens.
That's better. Now to see where it leads.
Eva slowly paces through the workshop, feeling the pervasive blackness on her skin. Nameless, unfinished, and spoiled paintings stare at her from the corners and wall hooks, sloping shelves like abandoned children. Somehow, the disfigured faces are visible even from the gloom, as if Mom's added phosphorus to the paint. What? Seeing all those flickering silhouettes creeps Eva's out. Well, oh my god! Oh my god! Seeing all those flickering silhouettes creeps Eva out. The fear crawls under her skin like hundreds of insects. It bites to her bones with icy teeth and sucks out the heat. You guys like that? Aw, I didn't get to see it. For a split second, lightning illuminates the room. Eva falls to the floor in shock. Ah! So scary! What she sees defies any logical explanation. The string, vibrating with tension, leads directly into a thick darkness and a clad gilded frame, swallowing the toy. The easel stands in the very center of the room, though Eva could swear it was not there a moment ago. It feels like the unfinished paintings on the shelves are closing in. The painted figures patiently staring at her. The string twirls and twitches and squirms in her grip, becoming harder to hold with every second. Eva struggles to breathe. Fear floods her body. She hesitantly raises her eyes and looks deep into the inky black painting. Instantly, a wave of cold air washes over her, and a spray of tiny droplets hit her face. A bitter, biting wind blows from the bottomless canvas. It gusts out, an icy drizzle. The painting absorbs the light cast from the window. Eva stares in horror at her hand as the ill-fated string cuts into it. For a second, she's tempted to get rid of it, to chop it off with a knife. But what if it's the last thread connecting her to Tony? As she dares not approach the painting. Doubts bombard her as the sticky fear muddles in her mind. Okay, I think we need to stay because what if Tony's there? Eva gently pulls the cup. On the other side of the painting, something or someone pulls the string frantically in response. A plea for help, defenselessness before an unknown threat. Despair saturates in the moment. Once she was promised to protect Tony from any danger, real or imaginary, and until tonight, she's never broken that vow. And Tony promised to never let anything happen to Eva either once he grows up. Though she can't see or hear him, her thoughts reach out to him, to their happiest moments together. More memories of Tony's childhood pop into her head, shielding Eva from an impending madness. Their ecstatic father announcing that she's gonna have a little brother. Eva thoroughly prepares for his appearance, arranging bouquets of wildflowers and cutting out cardboard stars and rabbits. Before going to bed, she dreams of how they'll rewatch the Never-Ending Story together. I love Never-Ending Story! The baby arriving, joyful and bright, as if a fairy tale. Okay, they said his eyes were blue and his eyes are green here, so, yeah, Cannon Police! Playing together among loose snowdrifts, magically driven in on Christmas Eve. That is one creepy baby. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And now amid the nightmare that's desecrated their home, Eva silently begs Tony to grasp the string as tightly as he used to squeeze her finger and never let go. In return, she swears she'll give him 100 slinkies of every color of the rainbow, mountains of lollipops, clouds of cotton candy, which Mom forbids him from eating, and anything to keep Tony's fingers tight. Groaning, Eva yanks on the string. The painting replies with another gust of icy wind and splatter of drizzle that covers the workshop floor with dirty marks as if it's not water but paint. The droplets fly in all directions, staining the neighboring paintings. With a few splashes hit the canvas, the painting comes to life. They begin to change. Young and old, men and women, already frozen in unimaginable poses, are losing their natural appearance. Their arms grow longer. Their new joints contort their fingers. Their legs bend in the wrong directions as if they're locusts, and the faces, what was a shapeless mess a moment ago, is now morphing into mutilated features. They look like careless sketches, distorting the emotions Eva's mother intended to depict, reveling them from one another, previously an invisible angle. Eva tugs the string hard. She puts everything into it. Her desperation, her love, her fury at the nightmare swallowing their home into its bubbling depth. Whatever lurks on the other side of that canvas, it will not take her baby brother. She has always protected him. She has saved him from nightmares. She's not about to let anyone hurt him now, no matter what the monsters, real or unreal, might come crawling out. Let's go! I won't give him up. Never! And then his mother's collection of black pearls surrenders. The disfigured people in the paintings curiously observed what's happening, perhaps even delighting in her struggle, but Eva's afraid that if she looks back, she'll lose her mind. She takes one step forward, then another. The otherworldly gusts make her sway, dousing her in pungent stench of paints and solvents. It knocks the wind out of her. Her heart almost stops, skipping a few beats before hammering in her chest again. Once her shirt is soaking wet, growing tight and uncomfortable. Sweat pours off her face and freezes on her cheeks. No. But Eva doesn't listen to her inner voice. Slowly, as if she's stuck in resin, she wades through the congealed air toward the painting and the gilded frame. The string in her fingers turns sticky and viscous, soaked in glossy liquid. Something heavy attached to the opposite end slips across the floor. Eva's mind begs her to turn away and run. The mysterious catch inches closer. Her fingers touch something soft, wet. Strands of a disturbing substance cling to her hands, hair. It's heavily smeared. It's almost flaming in the dark. Oh God. Oh, that's bad. Eva collapses to her knees and wraps her arms around the decapitated head of the kindest and most innocent human she's ever known. Well, that sucks. Damn. The toy phone string hangs down, hooked onto the crevices of his vertebrae. It looks like someone has ripped the head off the body as easily as tearing the cap off a ballpoint pen. But we know that none of this is real, right? There's no real stake here. It's freaky, kind of, but... Tony's eyes are as cloudy and empty as a fish's. His mouth is frozen in a death wail. Black blood oozes from his nostrils. Nah, this is definitely a freaky odd game. This is definitely a freaky odd game. But we know it's not real. Like, we know none of this is actually happening. It's all in the video that makes them see their worst nightmare. It's unimaginable, cruel, unfair. No world can be so brutal as to let something like this happen. No world can be so brutal. Okay, I read that right. Not even in the stories. Not with Tony. Not with her baby brother.
No way.
No way. Why do we think this isn't real for them? Because she's the only one experiencing it. They found that cassette tape at the arcade, and they went to Ashley's house to play it, and all the other people, Eva, went up to the screen, and she was like, "Do you see that? No, there's a video here." And when she did that, all of her friends around her were like, "I don't see anything." And she's like watching her worst nightmare, essentially. Like, she's like reliving her worst fear, or living her worst fear out because of the videotape. So, like, we know, I would be more concerned if something came out of the tape, but, like, we haven't got there yet. She sways, feeling neither cold or... Oh, hi, Bree! Droplets drizzling out from the painting in the gilded frame.
It's hypnosis, hallucinations, blood, witchcraft, or thorium intent.
I do not have a Switch, unfortunately. I actually might, I don't know, I'll have to do some digging. I might have an old one. I haven't been on it in a long time. I need to go look around. Eva suddenly realizes that that a painting of her sitting in the middle of the studio and cradling Tony's head would look great in her mother's new collection. Tragedy and pain, fear and tears. Hey, tears for fears. Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Okay. People would be glad to buy it, showering the artist with praise. They would rapturously stare at Eva's lips contorted with grief and her eyes with tears, her gnarled fingers frozen on Tony's mutilated flesh. They would admire her expression with torment. Okay, this is just wackadoodle time. The horror that thought evokes is sobering.
I can't just sit back and wait for another terrible thing to happen so that I won't be able to change or forget it. I have to get away. Run. Save myself and our parents.
What? Girl, I think your mom created this low-key. Yes! Oh my god, they're so expensive. Many of the heroes that inspire Eva so much had tough challenges. It always seems impossible to defeat hordes of creepy creatures, escape an insidious trap, or cheat death. But if you don't retreat or give up, it makes you progress. But if you don't retreat or give up, if you make progress towards your goal, no one can. A flash of lightning floods the room, followed by a shuddering thunderclap. Reality is a lot different from fictional stories, no matter how good or full of morals they are. And the fear is different too. It's impossible to hide from it simply by closing the book or turning off the TV. And if you get them off-brand, 9 out of 10 times they need to be updated and you can't. Yeah, you'll brick them. Paintings came to life. The characters liberate themselves from the captivity of the canvases and the frames. The paint transforms into skin and flesh. The subjects look almost like people except for their distorted proportions, and they become even more deformed. But the worst part is the unfinished paintings, with the inhabitants still capable of moving. They crawl out, hobble forward like stick-straight legs. They lack heads and limbs. The sketches turn into awful wounds, bloodless and dry. Barely moving, Eva takes one last look at her brother's head. It's real.
I'm sorry, my little boy. I can't stay with you anymore. I'm so sorry.
Eva drops the head and slowly gets to her feet. The painting in the gilded frame now reaches all the way to the ceiling. Most pissy $80 I've spent. That's so real. The wind splashes The wind and splashes of thick blackness have ceased the sloshing out of it. What? Have ceased sloshing out of it. Okay. Instead, the brushstrokes start materializing amid the inky, impenetrable abyss. Crimson and gray, a little white, green, buckets of red. Eva steps back. She knows exactly who will be in this painting.
Don't you dare. Whoever you are, don't you dare.
But the invisible artist is unstoppable. It relishes to its power. To them, Eva and her unlucky brother's lives are more worthless than oil paint. I mean, oil paint is not worthless. It will finish, wipe the brush clean, and forget about the miserable siblings. Just a little time, and a dozen heartbeats seem to have come by. The canvas has revealed a small, headless, skinny body, tightened into dirty pajamas. Dead Tony in the middle of the workshop. But he isn't centered. It's missing a detail. Next to him, there's just enough space for one 14-year-old girl. Maybe she'll be there. Maybe she'll be mourning. Maybe she'll be a bloated corpse, unable to escape the workshop alive. The instant the last stroke dries, the disfigured bodies turn to Eva. She can't see their faces anymore, but she knows they're looking at her. Achoo! Wow, 10 minutes later, that sneeze finally came. The bodies lurch forward. To her, they bury her forever in a coffin of canvases and paints. Eva shrieks so loudly that her cry would not only wake her parents but their neighbors as well, but the house only answers with silence. The girl rushes to the workshop door, but it's jammed shut and the handle won't budge. Shadows slither closer. Please, that is so funny. The door surrenders and slams into the wall behind it. Eva flies downstairs and pauses in the hall, sucking in a deep breath. The world in her eyes ripples and fades away as if distorted by television static.
Daddy!
The scream sinks in the emptiness of the house like a stone falling into a deep well. No echo, no response, not even a ripple. Only a deathly silence.
Help me, Dad!
The walls devour every word.
Dad's sleeping too deep. Otherwise, he'd definitely hear me. And Mom, she must have fallen asleep by the coffee pot.
Period. Eva clenches her fist helplessly. There's no time, but nothing is enough to wake her parents. And the thought of being embraced by the arms of those that she painted, those horrors, it makes her stomach churn. Eva suspects that her mother is gifted with some kind of supernatural power, the kind that leads people to unknown paths where nightmares live, to where only prophets and ancient witches dare tread. Ancient witches? Leave witches out of this. Witches aren't even bad people, bro. And an hour earlier, she would have never believed it. But what she's witnessed in the workshop, seeing inspiration, her mother has found something forbidden and let it loose. Eva can't convince herself that it was an accident.
Must be in the kitchen. Otherwise, I would have already run into her here or in the workshop. I'll have to wake her up first, and then together.
Blah, 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 blah. Something clatters on the stairs. Sensing their prey escaping, the human-like beasts speed up. The first is crawling downstairs, leaning against the wall with hacked-off limbs. One glimpse of that monstrosity is enough to forget any exhaustion, painting, or headache. Eva rushes towards her parents' bedroom. In the dimness, she trips and all but smashes her nose. Oh my god. But the pain of falling is the least of her concerns. Just like what she did after watching horror movies or creepy cartoons as a child, she rushes through the dark into her parents' bedroom. Nowhere in the world is safer than their bed. Laughing, her father would build up a cozy pillow fort where she would hide from any ghost or critters. Dad was always there for them, helping as much as he could until work swallowed him whole. Eva and Ashley wanted a treehouse. Dad never asked why. He just needed to know what they wanted and what they wanted it to look like and where to bring the boards. The kids wanted to go on a trip to the farm by the lake. He helped them pack, brought them snacks, and reminded them to stay away from the water. He even gave Brian a house-made baseball bat and a knowing wink. Dad's never lied to her or let her down. She's always been able to count on him.
Somewhere. He's strong. He'll protect me. He'll fight them off.
How does it matter? She just wants to snuggle up to someone close, warm, and alive. Someone without that otherworldly stench. Daddy! I'm sorry.
He must be somewhere here. Even if Mom's still sitting in the kitchen, he's definitely catching Z's now because he gets up for work at 5 a.m.
This is not really the kind of thing that I would be thinking, like, if I were, like, being chased by monsters.
Dad's definitely gotta be catching Z's now, because he's usually caught up for work at 5 a.m.
Okay, well, you know what I'd be thinking? I'd be thinking, run! Run! Get out of here! Go, go, go! That's what I'd be thinking, personally. But whatever. Whatever pops her fancy.
Dad? Where are you?
Eva grabs the bed and pulls herself up. But in her haste, she's forgotten that the workshop is not the only place that her mother hangs her paintings. The bedroom is decorated with luxurious canvases of some Central European weirdo, once ordered and eventually even partially paid for. As a kid, when Eva was slightly interested in art, she used to love sitting in her dad's armchair and gazing up at that painting. In it, an aristocratic family competing for the sophistication of their wigs and... Okay, an aristocratic family competing in the sophistication of their wigs and the brightness of their makeup are gathered around a long table, ready to eat. Well, they're supposed to anyway, but Mom viewed their little feast a little differently. The men and women sit gloomily at an empty table. A huge plate lies before them, devoid of anything but a handful of wheat splattered with blood. The big picture in the window in the background reveals a view of scorched fields, blackened remains of burnt houses, and the peasants' broken mills. Oh my god. Why didn't we just cite it like a... That's not a real painting, is it? Like, come on, that's so on the nose. This is some Brian Griffin-ass writing! Yeah! That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying, pretentious-ass writing. Okay. And I say that, okay, I'm gonna be real. I need to be honest with you. I don't think my writing is the best in the world. Some people probably know that I'm currently working on a horror novel. I try really hard not to sound like Brian Griffin. Because purple prose is just really annoying. Like, okay, we get it. You have a thesaurus. That's awesome. But, like, I don't feel anything. Sorry, that's just a personal little problem of mine. That's why the picture has even more insulting details now, like a servant wielding a log to fight off a pair of fat rats. Hey. Wielding a log, you say? I'm joking. I'm joking. Compared to her mother's other works, Eva likes this one, but today... Dangling out of the canvas are her father's legs, floundering in a pathetic attempt to escape captivity. Oh, God. Lunging forward, Eva grabs her father's shins, but the split second of hesitation is just enough for the painting to completely swallow the strong man. The painting turns hazy and mutates. The aristocrat's faces shine with delight. Oh, he dead now. This game is really cool, but I don't think the style of it is very effective for horror. Like, it's just showing me weird pictures. I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more animation to it because I'm kind of not scared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just not scary. I'm sorry. On the table, nauseously seared and shrouded in a baked crust, lies Eva's father, who fits perfectly on the enormous plate. The head of the family is sharpening a knife. The guests leer at the can of... Who's sharpening a knife? None of these bitches are sharpening a knife. What the fuck? Okay. The guests leer at the cannibalistic feast, clutching 2 exquisite forks with plump fingers. Even the rats wait under the table, hoping to grab a scrap or two. The air is awash with a sickening odor of paint, solvent, and barbecue. Dude, that is the 3rd time this game has said solvent. Emma grimaces in terror, sharpening a knife in the sense that, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, what? She wants to howl, groan, and call for help. This feels like a script that somebody just wrote a storyboard for. Like, it feels like this is not the full game. Like, maybe it's, I don't know. It's just pictures. I'm not scared of pictures. I've seen some pretty messed up stuff before. She can only spit out unintelligible sounds like a sheep trying to bleat after its throat is slashed open. And how would I know what that sounded like? You guys are some fucking freaks. Whoever wrote this is a pretentious motherfucker. Everything precious to her has disappeared into the damn nightmare. Oh, a damn nightmare. Everything precious to her has disappeared into a damn nightmare. Her brothers laugh. The weekend walks with mom and dad. The comfortable home her parents devoted years to creating. The paintings have taken all of that away. But what's happened to them? What bloody backwoods has her mother's talent led? What? What bloody backwoods has her mother's talent led her to? That's what Huh? After all, she painted them. She put a price on her soul in each. She put a piece of her soul into them, as she liked telling her audience at exhibit. Oh my God!
What kind of soul does she really have?
Oh, guys, I'm gonna be so for real. This is really not doing it for me. I mean, that's a scary concept, but I've been staring at the same picture for like 10 minutes. The very idea hurts. Worse yet, Eva doesn't even want to see her mother anymore. She can't bring herself to run into the kitchen and tell her what's happened. It makes no sense. Her mother made her choice, and that choice killed Dad and Tony. And if Eva doesn't escape and tell someone, she'll be next. She has to. Even if people think she's crazy, she doesn't care.
She wants to live in a world of madness and cruelty. There's no saving her.
Okay.
You chose the company of your paintings. You love them harder than your own kids. So stay with them. Forever. To the front door. Now.
Damn. We're just gonna leave her parents in there? The keys are always hanging on a decorative key holder that her father 3D printed. No, I'm joking. That her father made it work. It's an exact replica of their house, made with love and attention to every detail. But now the keys are nowhere to be found. They were not on the dressing room shelves, on the phone table, or under the rug. I always hate this trope of like, oh, I can't get out of the house. I'd break a window. I'd be out of there faster than you could say Methuselah. Desperate, Eva kicks the damn door. Why do we keep saying damn now? Like it's the coolest word ever. The last barrier between life and death. The door feels like a solid brick wall. Dad put so much time. And then also these tangents, like, that take you out of the motion. Like, she'll be, like, trying to get through the door, and I'll be like, oh, what's happening next? And then it'll be like, Dad put so much time and effort into making it strong and sturdy to protect his family from everything outside. It's just like we just go on these tangents about their life. Like, oh, Dad likes to drink his coffee black because it reminds him of the summer that he spent in Paris back in 1978 when he was just 15 years old. I don't care! Okay. He couldn't have imagined that the real danger would come from within. I don't think she does have a soul at this point. Okay. He couldn't have imagined the real danger would come from within. Now, that very same door is sealing Eva inside a house of nightmare! Nightmare!
No! Am I never gonna get out of here?
Never gonna give you up. She looks around, helplessly searching for another escape route. Suddenly, her gaze lands on the most useless thing in their house. The dog door. Ava has always dreamed of having as many pets as possible, but since her parents' death and all the tears she shed for him, her parents have been afraid to bring new pets home. Oh, that is sick. That parrot lived for 6 years. Is 6 years a short time for a parrot? Yes, but who knows how old it was at the pet store? It could have been 20 years old at the pet store. Like, we don't know. But then refusing to get your kid a pet because she loved the first one so much, that's fucked. What? These parents suck. But last year, after Eva ranked among the top 5 students in her class, instead of giving her a gift, her father cut out this pet door. Why didn't we try that first? Oh! Her father cut out this pet door. A hint that soon...
Tony always gets in and out easily when he's pretending to be a dog. If he can do it, I can too.
This is bad. Where's the doggy door? Where is it? Oh. Eva drops to her knees and crawls to the door. It's hard to squeeze her whole body in, so she puts her right hand... She's 14! She's skinny and 14. She can fit through a doggy door.
Yes, just a bit farther.
Smell of rain-soaked soil and pavement hit her nose. The rain relentlessly lashes against the porch and the roof of the car parked by the... Oh my god. Talk about a run-on sentence. The rain relentlessly lashes against the porch and the roof of the car parked by the garage, gathering in the murky torrents in the gutters. The air feels damp and clean. No trace of the workshop. Suffocating stench. Even the night seems surprisingly bright. Paintings and painted monsters have no place outside. Even if they dare follow her, surely the rain will finish them off, dissolving them and smashing them with the instant payment. Also, I just want to say, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this story was done in under 20 minutes. We are on part 6, I think, and we have been at this for over an hour. That's a severely disproportionate story, in my opinion. She's no more than a foot away from salvation. She's pissing me off. She's pissing me off. Get through the door. Something wet, sticky, and hot wraps around her wrist. The air fills with the suffocating smell of paint and solvent. We are on the word solvent for the 5th time. Let's say solvent again. Let's aim for one more solvent before this nightmare is over. What do you think? I think we can do it. They're quickly blotted out by the reek of a large, sweaty body. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. The monster's grasp holds Eva firmly in place, not permitting her to move as so much an edge forward. She clings to the half-open dog door and spins around. In the brightness of a streetlight, she faces a formless darkness before her eyes. The darkness splinters into pieces. She'd rather go blind than see this nightmare come to life. The hallway resembles a black hole, hollowed out by the massive larva. Inside, something heavy wheezes and trudges closer until finally Eva discovers the horrifying creature. Is there... Okay, I can see that much better now. A gelatinous fat body trembles in the darkness. Okay, what we're not gonna do is demonize fat bodies. Yeah, I bet you didn't think I was that woke. Okay. It's hard to guess what the creature used to be. Now, it's hideously swollen. The chef's apron covering its stomach is all but bursting. That's disgusting. I do like that, but again, we're just staring at it. The gnarled arms sprout from the pallid flesh on its back. Like a toad, the bottomless mouth spills out a long tongue, which coils around Eva's wrist. Letting out a strangled sob, Eva tries to free her hand. But the tongue won't let go! Boom, boom. The rotor, boom, boom. Whatever he does, boom, boom. It bites into her skin, sucking on it with a horrible gnawing sound. The fat monster shudders and drools lustfully.
Get your hands off me, fiend!
Fiend? Who says fiend when they're about to die? I say, ah, I'm about to die! Please don't kill me! That's what I say. Eva yanks her hand again. For a moment, it seems like the monster's grip has loosened. Her muscles ache from the strain and her fingers hurt, but she keeps fighting. Attention, get ready. Where's my mouse? Oh god. I don't have a controller! That's not fair! I've been playing with the thing! I wasn't even playing with the controller. That's so fucked. I was playing on my keyboard with the mouse. That's so messed up. What? Its tongue turns tight and unbreakable. Pain penetrates every joint. That's not fair. I wasn't even playing on a controller. It should have said WASD, not AXYB. That's not fair. It didn't tell me to use a controller. In the beginning of the game, most say, oh, sit back and grab a controller. What the freak? Yes. Yeah, I pressed the keys on the keyboard. It said it was wrong. Oh, she died. I guess if you die in the game, you die in real life. That sucked because I really liked her. To be continued. Oh, that's the end? To be continued? That's the game? Oh, is this early access? Is this early access? It is early access, but like I thought that was gonna be the whole game. How do I... What? There's no chapters? Damn, that sucks. I don't know if the game ended because I died or if the game didn't ended because that's all there is. Bruh. Well, that sucked, guys. Was that just me? I'm Googling it. Yes. Only the first character's story, episode 1, is available. The non-linear psychological horror visual novel is planned as a 5-episode story. I think the game has a really good identity. It just wasn't very scary, and some of the writing is rough. I think the writing is way over pretentious. The purple prose is kind of insane. It's like, oh, well, I stepped along the sidewalk that the cracks would... I wondered if the cracks would open up and yawn into an endless void that would suck me into a place far different than here. Just say you're anxious as you're walking on the sidewalk. Like, I don't know what to say. Like that's so unnecessary. But again, I think they need to lean more into like jump scares. There was one jump scare. I don't know if I hit the mic and it just sounded really loud, but there was one jump scare that actually got me in the very beginning, but then after that there wasn't anything else. And I was like, why not do more of that? There's aspects of it that I really liked, but overall I just felt like I was staring at the same image for like 10 minutes at a time. Like, you either need double the art or to add some animations in there. I don't know what else to say, but I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I heard that this is early access, and the other 4 character stories will become available when the full game comes out. So I might check it again later to see if it changes or if it improves, but I'm gonna be honest, I did not like that at all. Like, I liked a lot of it. I thought some of the voice acting especially was really, really good. I liked the art style, but there wasn't enough animations for it to be scary, and the writing needed help, like really bad. But yeah, I mean, there were some aspects of it that I really liked when I wasn't reading a novel. But I guess it is a graphic novel, so what can I can't complain about that, right? Right? I can't complain about the length of the prose. I can complain about the pretentiousness of it, though, I fear. Okay, well, that's all I'm going to stream tonight. All I'm going to say is, I'm curious to see what the other characters' lives would be like. I know Ashley has, like, Mr. and Miss Perfect parents, so, like, what if they became evil and they started, like, abusing their kids or something, and they turned into, like, maniacs? I think that would be cool. I hope in the final version it has a longer pre-videotape section. What do you mean pre-videotape section? Ashley's parents are like Mr. and Miss Perfect, so if they turned into like some kind of maniac monsters, I think that would be a cool horror plot. Mike is like a nerdy guy, and then Brian just likes baseball, so I don't really know. I mean, what are you gonna be? The baseball, like, is this his nightmare that he has to join ballet or what? Like, we don't know much about his character. Eva was the best character to have a setup, in my opinion, to Eva and Ashley, really. Those two, I feel you could make a scary horror story from their backstories, but the boys, I don't really know anything personal about their lives other than Mike is a nerd who's excited for college and Brian likes baseball. Like something that introduces all the characters more so we see their parents' dynamics, make small choices. Yes, I agree with that. See, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot about Ashley's family. She talked a lot about how her parents are Mr. and Miss Perfect, and everybody needs to look up to her parents because her family's the best, and they have a big house, and they love each other and everything. And then Eva talked a little bit about her little brother and kind of raising her little brother while her mom was absent, and that was kind of cool. So, like, they had background, but the boys didn't have any background story, like, at all. Like, I don't even know who they are. Yeah, I feel like I don't know any of them, so a full chapter that's just all the characters being normal, allowing us to understand the fears. Yeah, and also I feel like graphic novel, you gotta be, what, Uzumaki? Is that his name? You gotta be Uzumaki to make a very scary graphic novel, in my opinion. Like, you can't just stare on the same image for 15 minutes and then expect me to be scared. I've already, you know, like, there's no jump scares. There was one good jump scare. And also, what were the dead bodies? Mikey's parents died in a car crash. I bet that's what that was alluding to. And I bet in Mikey's nightmare, it would be his parents dying in a car crash. Because when they were walking, Mikey was looking in all the cars nervously, and he got like a weird premonition of two dead bodies in the car, a man and a woman. So even though the drawing kind of looked like a man and a man, which it said, oh, it was a man and a woman, but I looked at it, it kind of looked like two men, so I was like, I don't really, that looked like two cops or something, but whatever. I bet that was, okay, that was a little tidbit of Mikey's life, but again, with Brian, I don't know anything about him. And I thought that the car thing was just a cheap jump scare to like, oh, it's horror, it's gonna be scary. But anyway, I'm just kind of disappointed. Oh well, it did have promise, I guess. I think no jump scares is fine for this. If the writing was punchier and the images had more movement or something, then the horror would set in better. I agree. It's just one or the other, like, there weren't very many pictures in general, like there weren't very many pieces of art, because like 5 or 6 or even 7 lines of dialogue, 7 lines of dialogue would be on one, and when I say lines of dialogue, I mean 2 or 3 sentences, like whatever was popping up at the bottom of the screen. 6 or 7 of those would go by, and it would be the same picture. Like, oh, I don't know, like, the scene with the little brother's head, where she's holding his head, that felt like that went on for 5 minutes for me to read it out loud, which is kind of, you know, at least pop to a different perspective or something. Like, I just feel like it, like, this looks very scary, like, the guy creeping out, this looks like it has promise to be scary. Animate it a little more, make it a little more interactive. I just felt like I was staring at a static image for, which I guess it was doing this. It was kind of like bouncing, but I don't know. Well, that was, I guess, the beginning of Pink Noise. I saw that this game was early access, but I wasn't aware that it was basically a demo. It didn't say that, which is kind of messed up because I paid $11 for this. I don't know, I'm a little miffed about that too. I'm a little upset that I paid $11 for basically a demo when demos are usually free. And I know it was 2 hours, but also I was goofing around, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I genuinely am, I'm gonna try to give it a second shot when the full thing comes out. You'll get the full game when the full game comes out. That's true, and that's what I was saying. I'm gonna try to give it a second chance when the full game comes out. It even said on Steam that the final version is, this is not the final version, so maybe they'll improve when the game comes out, because I think it has a lot of promise, and I was surprised when she died in real life, when she died in the game, or when she died in, you know, her nightmare. So I did like that. I did think that was cool, but I'd like to see more from it. I'm not impressed yet. I could be impressed, but not yet. Well, that's the stream, guys. Thank you so much for popping in. Everybody who popped in. Moon and Star, J Newt. We have a new viewer here, Froggy Blue 04. When is the next Toem? I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna play Toem again. Kay, Magic Beans. Who else? Who else came in here? Yawning during the horror game says it all. Yeah, I just kept yawning because I was just so much reading, and also it sounds like something I wrote in 9th grade when I thought I was like the smartest human alive. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you for popping in. I have a cheesecake in the refrigerator.